So this is a kind of a part 2 of the gathering workshop, but I'm looking more at the mark making that you might be able to do if you dip some of these plants into ink or paint. I really like this because it's the gathering and gets you looking at your surroundings, and also means that you can experiment when you get home with the marks that those things make, as opposed to just a normal paintbrush or pen. Also, you can identify the different trees and branches. So this is in the winter, this is a cow's parsley and a yew tree branch. So it sort of works on a few different levels. I got the idea for this workshop through a forest school workshop that I did, and I think it can link up really nicely to plant identification, and also when you get to know more about different plants, you can become familiar with the plants that historically have had medicinal uses, or plants that you can forage and used to be eaten, for example. For the mark making, you will need some of the plants that you've gathered, some paper, some masking tape, or something to just stick the paper down and keep it still. And I'm using some diluted ink, but you can use any kind of paint, poster paint, acrylic, watercolour, anything that you can make kind of watery enough to dip the plants into. I'm really enjoying the marks that these dried leaves and plants made on the paper for me. I used a dried, I think it was even some kind of thistle head, but something without spikes. I didn't identify it. It was some kind of dried grass which had a kind of head of seeds on the top. That made a really nice spongy shape for the circles that you can see. I used that to make a pattern. And the yew tree branch that I dipped was really nice and made some really nice bold marks. And you can see that throughout the paper that I used, which I actually used this one for wrapping paper in the end. And the other long grass seeds that had this kind of really wispy look did really, really fine mark making, almost like a quill for writing with, although I would sort of struggle to write, I think. So there's loads of different marks that you can experiment with, and the other thing I like about that is that, again, it kind of lets you loosen up a bit and not worry so much. So I think if there was an overall message with all of these workshops, it's about not worrying so much about the outcome and enjoying the process, and this is something I think this workshop does really well.